There's been some news going around about Call of Duty Zombies, and the implications that this news carries with it are huge. Not only could zombies go in a different direction for the next year, but also for the foreseeable future. So what's going on? Well, we've had leaks from credible sources which have gotten things right before for a very long time about Call of Duty Zombies and Call of Duty as a whole, and this is about talks of a new Call of Duty title, developed by none other than Sledgehammer Games, and it's gonna be Modern Warfare 3. Yeah, we're probably getting another one that soon. And before I go into more detail about all of this and how it relates to zombies, sadly no, this isn't a sponsor. I just want to say take these leaks with a grain of salt, as we always should. But we can't ignore that these are from credible sources. So there's the disclaimer, I've thrown it out there, just remember that moving forward. So this Modern Warfare 3 malarkey is mentioned inside of an Insider Gaming article, written by none other than Tom Henderson, who's mentioned a lot of gaming leaks before, especially about Call of Duty, and his sources and articles have came up a few times in my videos whenever I've talked about leaks like today. In this article we get some very telling information. The first piece is that Modern Warfare 3 is going to be by Sledgehammer Games, but also it is apparently going to be supported by other various Call of Duty studios. Basically like the COD games we've had for the past, what, like 2 years? And I'm going to bring up this whole support development thing later on, because that is going to be a lot more relevant as this video goes on. This Modern Warfare title is basically going to have everything a Call of Duty would have, rumoured to have a campaign, multiplayer, a new Warzone 2 map, and most interestingly, zombies. Yeah, I didn't mispronounce anything there, I said zombies. Even just thinking and talking about Modern Warfare 3 zombies, it sounds off and it sounds like something we would have thought up as some sort of weird what if concept way back in 2012. But here we are. If these leaks are true, if they are to be believed, which usually with these Call of Duty rumours by these sources does end up being the case, then we're going to be in for a wild ride. Modern Warfare Zombies developed by Sledgehammer Games. It just sounds like a fever dream. The information only gets even juicier when we see this section here saying, for Modern Warfare 3 Zombies, several sources have said that the mode is essentially an Outbreak 2.0. Guys, do you remember Outbreak? Do you play Outbreak? A lot of you probably do when you hop back onto Zombies, and a lot of you probably don't. And that's what makes these leaks so interesting here. It's a very divisive direction to go, bringing Outbreak back in any way, shape or form. Because you have one group of people, and I am in this group, I can't lie, that do enjoy Outbreak and do see its potential. And then you have this other camp of people that do not like Outbreak, some might even hate it, and think it's just some weird DMZ Warzone clone with a zombies twist and just no PvP. But whether we like it or dislike it, I have to bring the numbers up again. You know what the numbers mean. During Cold War, there were numbers released by Activision that basically said 50% of people are playing round-based maps on Cold War and the other 50% are playing Outbreak. It was a 50-50 split on the amount of players engaging with each mode of zombies, and that doesn't happen a lot. It's quite rare that a community is cut in half with a completely different version of a game mode that we're usually really familiar with. And what seems to be happening is with the rise of Warzone, DMZ, these PvE open-ended experiences, and that style of gameplay, being in an open map, looting up, completing tasks or trying to survive as long as you can, whether you be surviving from players or not players, that gameplay feel, that concept, is something that clearly has a lot of potential with evolving zombies. But the question is, how far are Activision gonna take this? Are they gonna say something like, we don't want round-based anymore, let's put all of our eggs in this one basket, and that basket having the Outbreak label on it, and they'll take Outbreak and thrust it forward as the new definitive zombies mode for Call of Duty's going forward. Outbreak clearly performed better than it was predicted to, because for them to make an Outbreak 2.0 and try and bring it back does speak volumes. And usually when publishers notice this kind of trend where something works really well or someone else does it really well, they will pulverize it into the ground, probably taking it on themselves or continuing to do what they already did, and they will do it over and over and over again. But as of right now, if the leaks are to be believed, we're getting Outbreak, and for me that's great. I'll definitely give give it a try if it looks promising, but I can't lie, the implications of these leaks, like I said at the very beginning of the video, give me a completely different perspective on this whole thing. A perspective that is much more worrying. A perspective that leads down a long trail of thinking, and when you start going down that way, this is when it gets kinda scary. It was originally Treyarch that developed Outbreak for Cold War, their own game. However, Sledgehammer Games are in charge of this whole Modern Warfare 3 title, and this means that they might do zombies. They might be at the helm, taking charge, and having a vision and a direction they want to take zombies in. And that sounds great. I love when developers are passionate, but the problem is, it's Sledgehammer. And I don't mean that as an insult, I don't mean for that to sound spiteful, because Sledgehammer are good, passionate devs. It's just for Call of Duty, and zombies especially here, their track record hasn't really been the best. We had Call of Duty Advanced Warfare, which, personally, I enjoyed the multiplayer for that, but as for the zombies, whilst I do have fond memories on it, and I had a decent time playing the first map, I played it back on my channel not too long ago, and it was okay, but one of the more weaker zombies modes. And then after that we had Call of Duty World War II Zombies, and whilst I did actually see potential in it and I enjoyed the launch map, it fell flat on its face. I would say it's one of the worst zombies modes I've played, and World War II as a whole was just a questionable game. It felt very lacking, so take all of that into consideration, and looking back on that, you then find yourself here, being told that apparently Sledgehammer are making a Call of Duty game and zombies is going to be in it. If they are going to try and do something here with it, and they are going to be having the main input with this Outbreak 2.0, then I'm going to be pretty nervous. Once again, that is not meant to sound mean at all, but if I had to pick between Treyarch, Infinity Ward, and Sledgehammer to make a zombies mode, let's just say Treyarch and Infinity Ward would be higher than Sledgehammer. The good news about this though, if this Outbreak 2.0, if it whiffs, if it's a bad mode, if it just doesn't work, or even if it's simply mid, then at least we know that Treyarch are still going to be putting all of their time and effort and love into zombies for 2024. It's more time for them to keep working on their craft and hopefully, you know, make a good Call of Duty game that has a good zombies mode. And with more resources and development time for Treyarch to actually focus on their COD 2024 game, we might get the zombies mode we very well need. But then on the other hand, if Treyarch are pulled in again to help Sledgehammer Games, there's this horrible feeling I have where we might get another Vanguard. Literally, this exact thing happened during that development. Treyarch were pulled in to Sledgehammer's title and they had to make zombies and were completely unprepared and rushed to do so. It was less time spent on their game, so they couldn't put all of their energy into it, and more time stranded on this sinking ship that is Vanguard Zombies. And so if that happens again, if Treyarch are pulled in again, then I think this is going to be history repeating itself. I want Treyarch to just be able to make their own Call of Duty game uninterrupted, and we can get the quality product that we deserve and the one that they want to produce. But with Treyarch overlooking the zombies development for this Outbreak 2.0 in this Modern Warfare 3 title, it probably will give this mode a better shot to flex its muscles and actually end up being something really enjoyable. It really is a double-edged sword. It's which one is the tastier end of the shit stick, and I can't lie, it really has me worried. Take all of that into consideration, and also the fact that zombies might not be having round-based. There's been no mention of round-based in the article that we've covered, and even this tweet here from Lex is saying that there's no round-based for zombies. And that's where it would take zombies in a strange, interesting, and very uncertain direction. If round-based is getting pushed aside, then I hope this Outbreak mode is good. It has to be to replace the forever loved and forever reminisced on round-based. I'd really like to know what your thoughts are about that in the comments. I'd love to discuss it. Do you think that this is the way forward for zombies? They could make something good out of this Outbreak mode? Or should they stick to round-based and drop the idea before it gets too out of hand? I personally think it's difficult now to just have one. In Cold War, we had round-based and Outbreak, so now it's hard to only have one when we've gotten used to having both. I'd go as far as to guess and say there might be people that will expect both of these modes to come back side by side. And I've got to admit, they're a good contrast to one another, but picking one over the other to fully develop develop may either be a really good decision or one that's going to upset a lot of zombies players. The good news is this is allegedly going to be free to play, which means if it just sucks then we've not wasted any money, and if it's good then we've still not spent any money, but also it'll be very accessible, and as all free to play games go usually, it will most likely, similar to Warzone, keep getting updated and worked on. But I've got to say, all of that was a lot. But I think this overall is going to go one of two ways. We have the good ending and the bad ending. The bad being this could be another Vanguard Zombies. At its absolute worst, this may be what happens. So far, it's looking like history is going to be repeating itself because Call of Duty as of late can never catch a break. It simply can't have a breather, go into the shadows for a little bit, and work on becoming better than what we've had before. I hope this isn't a doomed project, but we'll have to wait and see. But then there's the good ending, the one we should strive for, the one we should hope for, and that is this mode ends up being as decent as it is in Cold War Zombies, and if not, then hopefully an all-around solid improvement. Treyarch aren't pulled in, they get to keep working on the game, and some peace is restored. And I think that is the best way this could possibly go down. But anyways, I'm going to leave this video here today. If you enjoyed or found this informative, be sure to smash the like button. Comment your thoughts on this whole scenario down below. This is an absolute wild one, and if any more big news comes up, I'll be sure to keep you updated on it. Subscribe to the channel if you aren't already, you won't regret it, and turn on the notification bell too to stay notified whenever I upload a video. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time.